Hey, what up, socialites, and welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo, with a new Wi-Fi and earphone things.
Wi-Fi and earphone things, spoken like a true Randazzo. Hey, listen, you guys, I'm going to be in Toronto coming up in the middle of May 16th, 17th, and 18th. I want you to come to those shows. And then I'm going to be in Madison, Wisconsin the first week of June. And then I'm in Des Moines. And I'm also in very cool places like Springfield and St. Louis. And after that, I'm going to be in Lexington, Kentucky, Omaha, Nebraska, Brea, California, Raleigh, North Carolina, Boston, Denver, Eugene, Oregon. So many places and more to come. Get your tickets at thejoedombrowski.com.
And I will be in, I don't even know what day today is. I will be in Boston. I will be in Staten Island, Philadelphia, West Hartford, Tulsa, Plano, Atlanta, Long Island, Los Angeles, Sacramento, Point Pleasant, Seattle, Chicago, just added Buffalo, just added Toronto, just added Hoboken. Joe, do you know about Hoboken?
I'm honestly, I could give a fuck about Hoboken because you just said Tulsa correctly on the first time.
You know why I said it? I'm just tired of everybody yelling at me.
Because you finally got an IEP.
They broke it down for me in school. No, all right, let me tell you what happened with the internet, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe was on a cruise, so sorry that we missed last week's episode. I know I explained to you guys what happened. Joe had fallen into a hole. And Joe thought that he would have better Wi-Fi on the cruise, but unfortunately, like, we just weren't able to.
It was bad. Like, Gaspar,
Yeah.
Have you been on a cruise?
Just the Staten Island Ferry. Yeah,
we'll get as a cruise. Okay, we'll get into it. Tell me more about your Wi-Fi.
You know, Staten Island Ferry is like a cruise, just everybody's miserable. The guy comes and he's like, wow, the internet's great. And he's walking from room to room with this like metal detector of internet. And he's like, boom, service is great. Service is great. Service is great. Goes in my office and he's like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like, it was supposed to be 500.
You sent me a picture. Yeah.
It was 9.
Yeah.
So every
like
room in my house was
digits.
Like 480, 445, 460. This room was 9. So he's like, you can't use the internet in here. And I'm like, oh, I am. I was like, it just sucks.
My best friend wants to slaughter me.
So I told him about the podcast and he's like, yeah, no, this can't hold on a podcast. So I was like, yeah. So we fixed it. We moved the box and everything.
Wow. And look at that.
And then I went to Five Below and I bought these ear things, the ear pods.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know they could connect to anything.
No more astronaut cans. Yeah, they can connect to anything.
Crazy. I'm using them on my phone. I'm walking around my house with them.
Dude, Apple's got that shit on lock though, because I've always wondered, why can't you put two people, like, why can't my headphones and Morgan's headphones connect to one iPad so we can watch a movie together? And it's funny, you can do that as long as you're both using the Apple AirPods, which are like astronomically expensive. These were fucking $30. They've never failed me.
What? They're not iPhone ones, right?
No.
Yeah, these are from Five Below. They were $4, and
and they're
like,
great.
They're crap. I said, even if they're crap, I don't care. Like,
I'm listening to Joe, right?
like they were $4. So like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm gonna get electrocuted through my ear. I look so different too. With
it's great. Look at you. God damn.
I'm clear. Everything is just, things are looking up, you know?
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's new headphones. Yo, listen, you've never been on a cruise?
No, not really. I mean, like a cruise, like where you live on the boat? No. I went on a ferry from Scotland to Northern Ireland and it was 6 hours long. Does that count?
Yeah. No, that's a ferry. It's a ferry. There's not like entertainment and things.
Boat around Manhattan once.
Okay. For those of you just chiming in to my life, I was hired to be one of the comedians on the Heather McMahon Absolutely Not cruise. Shout out, Heather. Thank you for asking me. I fucking love you. Yo, Gaspar, this was not a normal cruise. Heather's fans are a mosh pit of mainly Southern women with
Liking
a
it.
smattering of the gays.
Okay.
And like 1% not Southern, probably, right? And they're crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy people, but like in a good way, you know? But cruises in general just bring out the best and the worst in people. And something happened where at this moment, I was like, I cannot wait to tell Gaspare. First of all, goal unlocked, be hired to be on a cruise with you. Like, would be arrested. I don't know why, but we would be arrested.
We
Like,
should do a podcast cruise.
no doubt. Okay, well, that's basically what hers was. Her podcast was called Absolutely Not, and this was the Absolutely Not KNOT cruise. It's clever. She recorded a podcast on the boat and everything. It was wild.
How many nights did you perform?
Every night. Multiple shows a night.
You were the entertainment every night.
Yeah, I had a show at least. My easiest day was one show, and it wasn't even a show. I was hosting Family Feud, and it was at 4:00 in the afternoon. And then I was free the rest of the
You were like the entertainer every night.
Yes, that was the day I got the most fucked up, and it was a problem. And just not fucked up. Like, I wasn't drinking. I was just like going crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, you're on a cruise. It's international waters. It doesn't count.
Listen, who is somebody in your life, Gaspare, that strangers just open up about anything? There's certain people that are like this.
Yeah. So for some reason, Melissa, she doesn't talk much to people that she doesn't know because she doesn't like people or me. But like sometimes if Melissa's sitting there, people will come up to her and they'll just start spilling their whole life to her. And she's like, why are they telling me? Like, she's like, why don't they tell you? You'll care, you'll listen, you'll talk. She's like, why do they tell me? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's two people in my life that are like that. One, my best friend from Michigan, Ellen. I don't know what it is, but we'll be on a trip and I'll like leave her alone for like 2 hours and she'll come back and she's like, you see that person over there? They just lost their whole house and got foreclosed. And
I could see that. Like, I would tell Ellen things.
And then, yeah, okay. The other person is Morgan, my husband. So I don't necessarily, it's got to be our partner. Like, you and I are like astronomically more extroverted than our partners. And Morgan, I would say, is an extrovert, I would say, but like not like us, right?
Yeah. Melissa's not.
Morgan's got this, like, he's always cool, calm, and collected. If Morgan's losing his shit, jump off the boat. Something's wrong, right? Okay. I've never seen him lose his shit. We've been together for almost 11 years. So people will just open up to him about random shit. We do the cruise. It's the last night. We're on the dance floor. I'm socializing with all the other comics and stuff like that. And Morgan's great when he's at like comedy things. He can totally hold his own. He'll go talk to somebody. Like, I can leave him with people. He's fine, right? So Morgan's talking to these two people. I don't know who they are, but I'm like reading, like, I was there when they met. They wanted to take a picture, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm like talking and I'm like, I can see Morgan's body language and he's like very at ease with these women. There's two women. And I'm like, okay, he's fine. Whatever they're talking about, they're comfortable. Well, I keep socializing, whatever, and then I go back to Morgan for a minute. And he goes, those two women, I could talk to them all day. And I was like, what is it? He's like, they're just telling me all sorts of shit. And I don't know what, but nothing went off in me. I was just like, okay, whatever, this happens. Socialize. I go talk to more people. I turn around, Morgan's talking to the same women. I'm like, something's going on or whatever. And Morgan's like,
is Morgan straight?
And then Morgan's like, and then I like reconnect with these people again. So it's these two women and Morgan. And I don't know. They said something like, your husband is so like down to earth. Your husband's like so cool. Or someone was like, I know, he's the best. They're like, no, we love him. And I was like, and he even said he loved you guys too. And I'm like, not putting it together. I blacked out for a minute because what I'm about to tell you is so wild that I don't remember how we got here. Anyway, these are two Southern women. Picture what you think of a Southern woman. They're like done up in their little paisley dresses with the poofy sleeve, and they're just like, the hair is perfect. The makeup is like, these are perfect women. This woman showed me a picture of her family on her phone. It was like ready for Instagram, ready for Pinterest. It was just like perfect. I don't remember how this came up, but it came up that they had confided in Morgan that one of the women in this situation is with her husband is something called Vixen and Stag. Pause. Have you ever heard of this?
Vixen and Stag?
Vixen.
Well, like a vixen's
stag.
like a hot, and a stag is like a horse rider, no?
I think a stag is like a male deer with like a bunch of horns or something.
Yeah, I thought it was something to do with like Animal Tree.
Yeah, like something like primal or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
Like,
I don't.
Here comes a stag. It's like a young Mustang.
So I don't exactly know the inner workings of these. But Vixen and Stag is like a subculture of swinging. But
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure where the lines. Essentially, this woman opens up to Morgan and I that her husband will fly her out all over the world to fuck random guys. Now, this is not, I'm just saying, this is nothing. They're black. Like, she wants to fuck black guys. That's her thing or whatever. And I think she lives this like very vanilla life, and like but she's into black guys. And I'm like, okay, like that wasn't the shocking part. The shocking part was that sometimes her husband goes with her and they will pick out the guys together, and she'll get like tag teamed by two guys, and he'll like film it and take pictures of it. And the craziest part is she showed us
videos.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
How were they?
This woman is taking dick. I'm not exaggerating. Wine bottles. These dicks make my dick look like a pee-pee. Okay.
Dude, did you ever see the story about Shaquille O'Neal's?
No, what? He like killed someone or something?
They said it was 15 inches.
No way. Who said? Is that like a rumor, like Marilyn Manson's ribs or something?
No. Well, just think about his body size in general. If
This
it was the size. What?
Can you pause for a second? Can you pause for a second? At first, she was just going to show me it going in her mouth. And then she like zoomed out of the whole thing. And there was one in her mouth and one in her chapina. Gaspare. I was
and
like.
And the husband's filming?
Yeah. I was like, who took these pictures? Because they're like as tasteful. No, they're not tasteful, but they're like, they're not tasteful. They're like, kind of like artsy. I get like he was like getting the angles. He was like getting the angles, right? And like,
oh, good for them if that's, if they're into it.
Gaspar, but this woman might as well have been birthing a baby. I was like, that fucking thing.
Yeah.
I was like, that is.
So were they looking to get what, Morgan?
So the husband wasn't on the trip, but the husband did say that she could fuck guys on the trip, but it was a boat of women and gay guys pretty much. So she did make like a couple like ha 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 jokes about like, I'll just fuck you guys. And we were basically like, no, you won't.
We are
But-
actually not interested at all.
But then I started like, she to her, it was like her coming out. Like she kept saying like, thank you guys for being like so open that I can like talk about this secret finally and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like no problem. And she was like, do you have any like questions or anything like that? And I was like, yes. So then like we left and we went to the cafeteria and I sat this woman down and I was just going like top to bottom. How did this happen? And okay, there's a couple things that I learned. One, they go to like, it's not a swingers party, but it's like stag and vixen conventions pretty much. And she said it'll just be a bunch of guys in this hotel and wives with their husbands looking for other guys to fuck the wives. But she said some are cucks, some are not. She does not consider her husband to be a cuck. What does cuck mean to you?
I knew you were going to ask. Isn't a cuck?
Because I got in a thing with this woman. Like, not a bad thing, but I like...
Isn't it just watching your wife get it?
Yo, I thought that too. I thought that
or
too.
you were like tied up watching? I don't know.
This woman was convinced that her husband is not a cuck. He's something called a stag. And I was like, bitch, you're speaking a different language. I don't know nothing about this. But she said a cuck is like he sits there in a cock cage and like the guy fucking your wife is like demeaning towards you as they're fucking your wife. And I was like, yeah, but I also think like that's one type of cuck and like your husband's still a cuck. And like she didn't like that I said that. But I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just like being open. I'm just like talking to you, you know?
I mean, she's mad that or like
she wasn't mad.
Anyway.
She was so open, but I could tell that I was like pushing her boundaries a little bit, which like she said I could.
Well, then, she wants you to push anything.
So something real. So then she said my husband is not a cuck, he's a stag. And I was like, potato padildo, whatever. Here's the thing, Gas. Here's the thing. I did make these women laugh so hard. They're Southern. They are Southern women. All right. So, like, love the Lord, live this perfect little life, have a great family. They're Southern women. Okay. And I said, you guys, I never ask this question. Okay. And they're like, okay. And I was like, and I want you to know, no matter what you say is not going to change anything here. I go, we can continue talking. We can continue hanging out. I never asked this question. I just need to know something. And they were like, oh God, like what's he's going to ask? And I go, are you guys Republican? And they go, what the fuck is that? What the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I just needed to ask. Because I didn't know, like, in their normal life, like, how rooted in, like, pureness they were. So that's, like, kind of, like, why I was asking that.
So what'd they say?
Which makes sense to you, right? Like, you see where I was getting at, right?
I mean, because, like, I get, like, the
Southern...
you're saying, like, the traditional
Southern Republican, Southern Republican is, like Christian values, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I get what you're saying. So it's like, are you
like
that? But then, like, you live this other whole life of, like...
Right, which I was trying to figure out, like, how, like, how intense is the juxtaposition of these two lives this woman's living? They're not Republican, and they laughed so hard at that. And I was just like,
how did they get to the point in their marriage where they were like...
She wasn't going to tell me, and I did get it out of her. So she was like one penis forever, like started dating this guy like super early in high school. Then they went to college. Then they got married. This is the only guy. And then it turns out, well, her friend actually outed her. And when her friend said it, she was like, I wasn't going to say that. But then she said it. She actually had an affair.
Yeah.
And when she came clean about it to her husband was like not mad. And he did not freak out. And he looked at her and he goes, okay, do you love me? And she was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah. She's like, I love you very much. And she was like, and he was like, do you love him? And she was like, I don't love him at all. It was like purely physical. And he was like, okay, I'm fine with this. And I kind of like it. And I was like, she was just like, what? And then like from there, they like they meet guys and other couples and like they all get to know each other and they go out. She's like, they're friends with these people, but she just fucks the husbands. And then
Does
like
the husband also hook up with people?
God, I didn't ask that. I think she said he has, but that's like not the thing. Like that's not the hot part to him. He does and he has, but that's not like the hot part to him. So what he did,
his wife.
They were getting picked up by another couple. These two women were getting picked up by another couple on the cruise that they've like been fucking. And the way they found out is the best friend. They're on they're on Find My iPhone, and the best friend called her and is like, "Why are you in Las Vegas right now? Why are you in Las Vegas right now?" And her friend was like, "Do you really want to know? Can you handle it?" And then boom, she like came clean about it.
So
she was acting like she was so relieved, like she just came out as a lesbian. I was like, girl, this is peasants change compared to what the gays do.
I don't know about you guys, and I've been telling you this over and over and over again. You all know me. You all know I love saving money. You all know I love shopping smart. That's why I switched from the traditional big wireless companies and I started to use Mint Mobile. Why do I like Mint Mobile? Let me tell you, I got fed up with the high wireless bills, all these little bogus fees, and all the free perks that they would add on. But then in the end, they would cost me money because they weren't free. So I said bye-bye to all these overpriced wireless plans with all these jaw-dropping monthly bills, and I made the switch to Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile has wireless plans that start at $15 per month. And they have high-speed data, unlimited talk to text, and they're using the largest 5G network in the whole nation. My favorite thing about Mint Mobile, I was able to carry my phone number along with all my existing contacts. So I didn't have to sit there and make all the changes and add, Tiffany from Bay 13th. I had to put her in my phone again and then give her a real last name. I didn't want to do that anymore. So I made the switch. So if you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/social studies. That's mintmobile.com/social studies. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, 5 gigabyte plan required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
I used to have no idea what to get my mom for Mother's Day. And honestly, sometimes I'm still on the struggle bus, Susan. I don't know why I said Susan. My mom's name's definitely Fran. Especially, I have a hard time when my mom hits me with the classic, don't get me anything. But I still want to get her something that feels special, But Quince has totally solved this for me. Everything is high quality, feels super thoughtful, and it's actually very affordable. Now, I don't overthink it anymore. I just go straight to Quince and find exactly what I need. I actually got my mom a cashmere sweater this year. It was only $50. I was going back and forth. They have a lot of 14 karat gold jewelry in there. They have Italian leather bags, fragrances, everything. And let me tell you, it's the one-stop shop for all things Mother's Day. So listen, if you want to be thoughtful, you want something timeless, and you want to totally top whatever you got last year, shop Mother's Day at Quince. Go to quince.com/social studies for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/social studies to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/social studies.
I actually was talking about you like a month ago. A friend of mine was telling me that him and his wife were having whatever, rocky time. And they ended up going to not a swingers club, because I thought it was a swingers club. He said it's a sex club. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, it's literally exactly what it sounds like. He's like, but I was like, yeah, but he's like, we walk in as a couple. We pay like $100. It's like 50, he's like, it's $100 for the guy. The girls are free. He's like, and we literally just walk through and there's just people all over, just like naked, and like the only rule is like have someone's consent. Don't just like walk into a room and start grabbing somebody,
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, and like, they have rules on like hygiene, like be clean and all this stuff. There's showers, there's bad. And he's like, and literally he's like, we started going these things. He's like, it kind of saved our marriage. And he's like, he's like, she's into it. I'm into it. She's with people. I'm with people. We're together. We're with people. Like, he's like, it's just like, and I was like, what? Like, it was just someone I wouldn't expected it from. And he was like telling me like, he's like, yeah, you just like walk into a room. And so of course, like my natural question, I'm like, does everyone wear condoms? Because like, I'm just thinking it's
she didn't, because she said this community that she's in is like tested. They proved the paperwork and everything like that.
He said that there's like literally security guards with bowls of like condoms everywhere. And it's kind of just up to the person. I was like, ugh. I was like, these are strangers that you're never going to see again. I was like, I don't know. You just like, and then like, I was like, my next question, I'm such a fucking romantic. I was like, do you kiss? And he's like,
oh,
no.
Do they kiss?
He's like, nah. I mean, he's like,
I bet some of them
like,
kiss.
He's like, you make out. But I was like, I don't know, because in my head, I'd be like, oh, this girl was just blowing someone. Now we're kissing. Like, that's disgusting. So like, I'm like, ugh. And he's like, yeah, I don't think of it like that. And I'm like, you should. Like, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like, hello?
Hi.
But anyway, he told me like there was one, he said they go to clubs all over the country.
Oh.
It like they've now made it a thing. And then I was like, he said like one of them, there was like a river running through, like a lazy river.
Oh.
And he said that like guys were just standing along the side of it, and like girls were just like going down the lazy river and just like, bye. And I'm like, what? Like, it was just like, and I was like, do people wear masks? He's like, no. He's like, it's not like a secret society. He's like, this is just like people just, and he said like, it's mainly couples. And like, I was like, do guys go in alone? And
that
he's
must
like,
be weird if someone did.
He said like, you can, but he said it's way more expensive if you show up as a guy on your own. And like, I guess that's like to weed out like just like some
weirdos
walking in and being like, I had $30. Let me just,
right.
Take a shower. But then I was telling him about like the bathhouses that you told me about.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, he had my same reaction.
Homophobia is
like,
alive and
I was
well.
like, it's literally this, but with all gay guys. And he's like,
so did he say they're like fancy? Are they like well kept or?
So he said, depending on where you go, he said like, there's like ritzy ones where you're like, oh, okay. And then there's like gross ones where it's like, oh, like these people are gross.
Wow. So yeah, so like, I don't know, but like this was like the theme of the ship, but then something else happened. I don't know how this happened. Then we ran into this other woman and she was like, oh yeah, this is the woman that I met the other day at the pool. She actually fucks the other moms on the PTA. And we were like, what is happening? What is happening?
But like, also, doesn't it make you think like the sex club, like, so like these people in the middle of like Pennsylvania are just like, I'm just gonna I'll be right back, honey. I'm going to the diner, And
I mean,
like, you're just walking through. And also I said to Michael, what if you just showed up and it was only guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, I guess that could happen. He's like, but he's like, dude, he's like, there are so many people out in the world that are just like looking to just hook up. And he's like, a lot of them were married or a lot of them are couples. And it's just like this little thrill. And I guess it's like, oh, they won't cheat if they're having sex in front of me. I guess that's the logic. I don't know.
Crazy.
But a lot of you guys have summer plans. You're going to the beach. You're going for hikes. You're going through maybe a music festival, a concert, all these outdoor activities. And you know what's important? Yeah, it's important to have fun. But you know what's even more important? Staying hydrated. If you are hydrated, you could get the most out of your body and you could live more during those warm summer nights. How can you stay hydrated, you ask? Well, why don't you visit liquidiv.com and find out about their different options for sugar-free hydration that has flavors like raspberry lemonade and acai berry and lemon lime and pina colada and white peach and rainbow sherbet. And guys, guess what? They actually taste like the things you're drinking. It's not just pretend it's a flavor and then it tastes like something else. All you got to do is tear open the pouch, pour it in, and enjoy it. I have been drinking Liquid IV every day. I'm teaching. I am thirsty all day. I talk all day. I talk all night. So I've been just popping it into my little water bottle, and I have been drinking it all day. The flavors are delicious. They have all the things that you need. Plus, they have electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that will turn your water into extraordinary hydration. So here's what I need you to do. Get ready for summer with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SOCIAL at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code SOCIAL at liquidiv.com.
Hey guys, gonna be so honest with you. Gaspare and I, we're addicted. We're addicted to carbs, and we're addicted to bread. We love bread. And we were shocked when Hero Bread sent us boxes of Hero Bread. We looked at each other. We're like, there's no way this is good. Honey, let me tell you, it's both nutritious and it's delicious. With Hero Bread, you can focus on your health goals and still indulge in your favorite bready meals completely guilt-free. Enjoy things like the bagel breakfast sandwich, a burger with brats on a soft, fluffy bun, sandwiches for an easy lunch, or even meal prepped enchiladas, all using Hero Bread. Their baked goods are mouth-watering while being ultra-low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and high in fiber. We have made a lot of our favorite meals using Hero Bread, and I'm not stopping now. I make egg sandwiches every morning, and now I use the Hero Bread bagels. I also make a lot of tacos during the day for lunch, and now I'm using Hero Bread tortillas. It fits into my lifestyle just as it would if I bought any other bread, but now my bread is ultra low net carbs with 0 grams in sugar and high in fiber. I gotta be honest with you, the Hero Classic Plain Bagel might be my favorite, but the Hero Everything Bagel definitely tops that. You might want to put it in your basket right now. We love Hero Bread, and we know you're going to love it too. That's why Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code SOCIAL at checkout. That's social, SOCIAL, at hero.co.
Speaking of like crowds and stuff like that, I went to a concert this week.
Oh, what'd you go to?
I went and saw The Used. Do you remember The Used?
Of course.
Yeah, we saw The Used, and my old self. Well, first off, everybody's our age at these concerts now, so it's like pretty tame. You know what I mean? Like everyone was just there listening, having a good time. But I was watching people crowd surf. It was the same 8 people just over and over again. They would crowd surf, get to the front, get picked up, crowd surf back, get to the front, you know what I mean? It was just over and over again.
That's weird.
But like, I was just watching and I was like, crowd surfing would make me so nervous. Like,
so nervous. I have watched people just go straight to the floor.
But not even that. But like, what about like if your wallet falls out of your pocket or your phone, or like, if
get
someone
your butthole
takes
fingered.
your shoe, like you never seen that? Like where people just rip your shoe off in the middle of the.
No,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Oh yeah, like when you crowd surf, like when we were younger and people used to come up over me, and if they were like being dicks and like throwing elbows, like my friend Ponzo would just rip their shoe right off them and chuck it. And he's like, fuck them.
Wow.
Like so now like you're just shoeless and you're like walletless and you got a black eye. Like it just sounds miserable. Maybe we're just getting old.
I have a question for you. What happened at the Statue of Liberty?
Oh, so I did go to the Statue of Liberty. So I've been off for the last 9 days, Joseph,
Uh-huh.
for spring break. And for 9 straight days, I've been with my children. They have not been within 5 feet. They have not been past 5 feet of me for 9 straight days. Just
And how's that feel?
like, it felt wonderful because I love them, but also, I was happy to go back to work today.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, just 9 days of children conversations, But have you ever been to the Statue of Liberty?
Never.
So I went once as a child. We got thrown out. It was a misunderstanding, and
I assure you, it was not.
I was on a school trip.
What, you tried to scale the flames or something?
No, I was a child on a school trip. This was I just didn't know any better. We were running full speed around the museum. We were chasing each other, a friend of mine and I, and we got put in timeout on the trip. So we had to sit in Ellis Island while everyone else got to explore. And we sat in the museum and with one of the chaperones who fucking hated us.
Shocking.
And really, it was this kid's fault. And we actually went to the Intrepid, which is a Navy museum. And we got thrown out of that too because of this same kid. He was an animal.
But it was all him, huh?
No, I was definitely part of it, but he was wild. He was wild on trips. And I was an idiot and I stuck with him. So anyway,
I think that I feel about field trips, and I always used to try this shit, and my school would always tell me no. I think you earn the right to go on a field trip. Like if you've been bad the whole school year and we have a field trip at the end of the year, I don't think you'd go just because you're in school or just because you're in this class. Like you're doing bad shit, but now I'm supposed to expect to take you into the wild and everything's just going to be okay. No. So I think if I was a teacher again, I would tell the principal, that's fine. We can do it your way, but one or two things are happening. Either A, you're coming on the field trip and you can be with them one-on-one the whole time, or I call in a sub. Which would you like?
Do subs go on trips?
Well, guess what? If I wasn't able to make it that day, who's going to be the teacher? The sub.
I guess you're right. So we went to
let me just tell you,
do you know where the Statue of Liberty is?
The water.
It's in the water, but it's next to Ellis Island. So you get on a boat, you ride to Ellis Island, you get off, you go explore Ellis Island, which is a museum and where they first went. Then you get back on the boat. I just
remembered something.
What, the quote?
We were learning about immigration when I was in 3rd grade and how people from other countries came over to the United States on Ellis Island. It was probably 1996 or so. And my mom was a nurse. And I remember one of her nursing friends who she worked with was a Filipino woman. And she was talking to me because I was interested in this. And she was talking to me all about how she came to the United States from the Philippines. And I literally looked at this woman. She's in her early 40s, maybe late 30s in 1996. And I was like, what was it like when you came over in Ellis Island? And she's like, what the fuck? Oh, God. I'll never forget. I think I asked her, what was the first thing you saw after you got here in Ellis Island? And she was like, an apple tree.
The streets were paved with gold.
Right. My mom should have put a cease to that conversation. No,
sweet.
We
That's
don't need to ask them. Right. Yeah. I thought I was so interested.
No, but what's crazy is first off, do you know the Statue of Liberty was originally bronze and it greened over time, and they built it all in pieces and then shipped over the pieces from France, and France sent it to us as a present for our 100th year. They sent it to us as a present for our 100th year anniversary of being free.
What are they sending to us this year?
It's our 258th year. Where they no, because we inspired their
what
revolution.
You got for us now, France? Now what I want you to do is fill the Hudson with brie. That's right, and bring some wafers so we can dip this shit. France.
Well, we inspired their revolution, and they felt like they were free because of us, because of our inspiration.
Aren't they sweet?
Whatever. So they sent us this thing, but while the guy was making the Statue of Liberty, he was charging people to come to his factory, to his warehouse, to watch it be built and to look at the pieces that were all like in pieces. Then they shipped it over and then like they installed it. And they were asking people for $1 in America. First off, the French people paid for this as a thank you to us, which blows my mind. And then when it came to America, they were like, hey, we need some money to put this together. And people were donating money, just sending $1 in the mail to put it together. Crazy, right?
No, wouldn't happen
Anyway,
today.
the point of this whole story was we took the boat, we get to the Statue of Liberty. The boat ride's like 20 minutes long. First off, everybody runs on one side of the boat to take a picture of the Statue of Liberty. The whole boat was tipping. I was having an anxiety attack.
Goodbye.
I was only one. I was standing on the other side. I was like, hi, everybody. We can see it from here. Why don't you all move back over so the boat don't tip? So the guy was like, yeah, it's made so that people can like stand over there. It's not going to tip. I'm like, I don't care what it's made for. All I'm thinking in my head is, how can I swim safely with Lucy and Gaspare in my arms? Melissa's going to have to figure it out. And then I'm going to have to just save a bunch of other kids who can't swim too. This is what I'm thinking while everyone's taking pictures. It was miserable. We get to the island. You can't even go in the Statue of Liberty anymore. They only let 150 people in a day because of COVID.
What?
Mm-hmm. So since COVID or something, they were only letting in, that's what the guy told us. So you had to get these tickets like months ago to get into the Statue of Liberty. So we just walked around the statue. We had lunch, and then the kids are like, we're done. I was with 9 kids, and they were like, we're done. And I was like, all right, guys, well, we're not going to be back in the car for another hour. So get ready, because then you got to get back online, back on the boat, ride across. It was horrible, but it was a nice experience. My kids have fun. I also took them to Monster Mini Golf. You know what that is?
No.
It's just like mini golf with like neon lights and like monsters inside. But you know how like the last hole of mini golf sucks up your ball and it's the end of it?
Fuck yeah.
Lucy, Gaspare thought we were in Happy Gilmore, and he was just slapping the ball as hard as he could, and it was just going on everybody's courses. And Lucy, after about 2 holes, goes, I don't really like golf, ran to the last hole and threw the ball into the mouth, and it sucked up her ball. And she's like, well, now I can't play. And I'm like, huh? I was like,
what are we doing?
You really had a
Why
really
are we
good
here,
thing, guys?
God.
But yeah, it was, we went to the zoo. We went to we painted eggs. We did the bouncy house. We did 9 straight days of activities.
You did great. You did great.
It was fun. We did get an Am I the Asshole from a Patreon member.
Ooh, you become a Patreon member too at patreon.com/the Social Studies Podcast, where dreams are made up.
I did want to read it to you. So let me see. I won't read the name because it's an Am I the Asshole? Am I the Asshole? Hi, guys. This should be a quick one. I'm a member at Planet Fitness, and I love their 30-minute express circuit workout. For those of you that don't know what this is, it's a lineup of machines and cardio steps that you do for 1 minute at a time, followed by a 30-second rest. Oh, I would love this. This is right up my alley. Just do one of them and get off. 1 minute and 30 seconds of working out. There is a red and green light that tells you when to stop and then when to start each set of your workout. I can't stand it when people come in the middle of the circuit to use and monopolize one machine. I often find that people come in, do a set, go on their phone for its entirety, and then do another set on the same machine. I usually give people the stare down to let them know I'm waiting on the machine. Sometimes that doesn't work. Like today, there were 2 high school boys. That's already a problem. Using 2 of the weight machines, chit-chatting and going on their phones in between doing 3 reps and calling that a set. I'm sure since they were young and I am 35, that they thought I was a weird, creepy lady staring at them, but they didn't get the hint. I was not alone in being annoyed. Another man walked up to these 2 at the same time I was staring them down and said, hey, are you done on this machine? And then I chimed in, we are both trying to do the 30-minute circuit, and you guys have been on these machines for a while. Can you move along? The boys didn't say much. They were like, sure, and walked away after giving us the stink eye. And they went to 2 different machines in the circuit. getting in other people's ways. The gym was not packed. The same machines were out on the floor and unoccupied. Am I expecting too much to follow the plan here? This happens every day. Am I, or we, in this case, the asshole for calling these two out
No.
for doing too many people are doing something too many people are doing?
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
not
you're
the
a gym
asshole.
person, so you go first, and then.
I think that people have lost the plot when it comes to the gym. I cannot tell you how many times people just sit on a machine on their phone and are just oblivious to someone's workout. Like, you should just listen to the radio and leave your phone in your locker, because people just fucking poop and fart around. And it's like, what are you doing? You let people use this shit. And the times you're not on the phone, you will double the speed of your workout. Trust and believe. Like, it's just, people really think that they can do whatever the hell they want. What drives me nuts too, and I guess it shouldn't drive me nuts, but people will work out in like full jeans and like loafers. It's like, what are you doing?
Think about it this way. Let's say you're on a break from work and you just pop in real quick to do a set.
I'm not working out in my work clothes. What if fucking stupid could pit stain your shit up, go back to work, and like be all stinky in front of your people? Like, that's some shit.
But think about it.
Gaspare,
like,
if you're gonna come on this podcast, come correct. Like, literally,
you work out. Wild. You sweat when you work out a lot.
I mean, enough to be uncomfortable. If I was in everyday clothes, I at least get a nice sheen.
See, I don't sweat. That's the thing.
You do. You sweat, but just not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I sweat like a normal, little amount.
If you don't sweat, then why do you always smell like shit?
Shit. No, I don't sweat, but I'll like, I only do a few workouts, so they're not like sweat workouts,
A year?
Like,
yeah.
I do arm curls. You don't sweat doing curls. Then I do sit-ups, but I don't do them till I sweat. And
can I tell you something? This is not called working out. This is called whatever. This is called like feeling better that you did something.
Yeah, but isn't doing something better than doing nothing?
Not if you're going to the gym 2 times a year. At that point, you might as well just do nothing.
There was a 2-week span where I went every third day for 2 straight weeks. And it was like, I was really feeling good. My arms were burning. My legs hurt. And I'm so mad that I stopped.
You understand that what you just said is that you went to the gym 5 times in 14 days. Like, congratulations, yes.
Every third day just sounded better.
You're insane. Oh, you guys. Anyway, that's it from the life of us. Thanks for listening. I'm on tour. Get your tickets to see me live at thejoedombrowski.com.
And get your tickets to see me, GaspareRandazzo.com. Thanks, guys.
Bye.